You were sitting in a makeup room waiting for your father to walk you to the aisle where the most beautiful person, would be standing to hold your hand. You are getting married to Jungkook, who is a doctor and by his profession, that is very serious person. He doesn't speak much, but still he managed to make you fall for him. It's an arranged marriage, and only you got to know 1 month to know him. But you are ready to marry him as you are talkative. He is not. Also, what would you want in a husband? He's handsome, intelligent, and very serious person that likes money. You always wished go marry an intelligent person as you are not. Only you know how you managed to pass high school, but it doesn't mean you know nothing. You can't do anything to be independent. You are a chef, you make world best dishes that you don't say, but your customers. Yes, you used to do a job in a restaurant until your boss means owner of the restaurant where you were working got obsessed with you. He wanted to marry you but you didn't. It's not he's really old, he's 35, you're 25. 10 years age gap is not that bad, but you never felt attracted towards him because you were into intelligent guys. You always had crush on toppers boys, but they never gave you attention because you used to top from down, despite being the most beautiful girl of the school. So you never felt anything for the owner, and you try to understand him, but over time, his obsessions become worse, and that is why your parents fixed your marriage, and you are getting within 15 days. You know the reason why you are getting married all of a sudden, but you have no idea why I got agreed to marry a girl whom he only get to talk for 15 days. Enough introduction, back to present. You are waiting anxiously for your father in the makeup room when suddenly an expected guest arrives. It's your obsessed former boss, Hon. Fear tightens your chest as you scan the room, hoping no one else is there. Jungkook and his family don't know about your past with Hon, and you desperately want to tell them, but your insecure father never let you. Sir, why did you come here? How many times have I told you not to call me sir? My name is Hon. He strides towards you, causing you instinctively step back, which is difficult in your having wedding gown. Come with me. He reaches out and grabs your wrist. Panic grips you as you always despised his touch. What are you doing? Let me go. It's now or never, Ryan. Why can't you understand my feelings? I love you. Please come with me. His words are gentle, but his grip tightens, bruising your wrist. Help, help, please. You scream for help, realizing reasoning with him won't work, as you've tried countless times before. Come with me. He starts dragging you towards the window he entered from. Leave me alone. Help, help. You scream, and soon your father rushes in with guards. The guards swiftly intervene, apprehending Horn, while your father embraces you tightly as tears stream down your face. Crying, Dad, when will I get rid of him? Ryan, don't cry, you'll ruin everything and everyone will find out. Dad, when will this end? Very soon, but promise me you won't tell anyone from groom's side. Not even him? No, his firm reply makes you lower your eyes, tears streaming down your face. I'll send someone to fix your makeup. He leaves, and after some time, the makeup artist arrives. Your makeup swiftly fixed, and with your father's supportive arm, you walk down the aisle to marry Jungkook, your dream man, intelligent, handsome, and everything you had hoped for. As you exchange vows, the incident with Horn from earlier seemed like a distant memory, overshadowed by the joy of being with Jungkook. A shy smile played on your lips as you walked beside Jungkook towards your car. Today you would be going to his home, where he had lived alone until now. He opened the door for you and helped adjust your gown. When you looked at his face, though he seemed uneasy, not happy like you were. As soon as you got inside, he closed the door quickly. Are you not coming? You asked hesitantly. His cold look made you gulp in fear. I'll come later. Take her home, he ordered his driver sharply, walking towards another car. The atmosphere was tense, his sudden behavior leaving you confused and uneasy. As the car drove off, you couldn't shake the feeling that something important had changed, but you weren't sure what. You thought to yourself, maybe Jungkook has some urgent work at the hospital, even though you felt a twinge of sadness. After all, most couples usually head home together. You try to understand. He is a doctor, probably dealing with something important. You reassured yourself. Doctors are so smart. Unlike me, all I can do is cook. You chuckle softly, playfully tapping your head before darting into the kitchen. Cooking had always been your century, especially when Jungkook isn't around. As you stepped into the kitchen, your eyes widened in amazement. It's a dream come true, a fully automated kitchen. You had loved cooking since you were young, and this setup is beyond anything you had imagined. Wow, you exclaimed, spinning around to take it all in. It dawned on you that Jungkook must have known about your passion for cooking and gone out of his way to create this perfect space for you. I love you for this, Mr. Husband, you whispered gratefully. Thank you so much. You chuckled again, talking to yourself as you often does. Okay, Ryan, first thing first, go and freshen up. It was a habit you had developed over time, a way to keep yourself organized and focused amidst excitement. You left for your room with your luggage, but instead of changing, you sat on bed imagining your husband helping you out of your wedding gown on your first night together. After some time, he entered the room with the same distant expression, giving you a cool look that made you jump from the bed. Why he's looking at me like I must taking the medicines he prescribed and not even sicker? You muttered to yourself inwardly, knowing you couldn't say that out loud to him. He sat on the other side of bed, his back to you, and he began off his show. Come on, Dr. Husband, please talk to me. You waited, hoping he would start a conversation, but after removing his shoes, he gathered his clothes and headed to bathroom, leaving you alone with your thoughts. What's wrong? Why isn't talking to me? Do I not look good? You hurried to the mirror to check your appearance. No way, I look fantastic. Ugh, why isn't saying anything? You whined again and walked back to the bed, sitting down heavily. No, go back to the bathroom. I haven't decided yet. You screamed at your newly wedded husband in your head. Knowing he couldn't hear you, he walked to the bed and lay down with his back to you. What the hell is wrong with him? Can't he at least ask if I'm comfortable here? Wow, okay, I can start with something safe. You sat up straight and cleared your throat before speaking. I am comfortable here. You have a pretty home. It You had hoped he would turn to you and smile, but he remained indifferent. Disappointed, you sighed and walked to the mirror to remove your accessories. He had to go to straight to work from the wedding line. He's tired. Don't feel bad. He'll talk to you in the morning. Even though you were a little sad, you reassured yourself, talking to your heart as you often do. As you took off your earrings and necklace, you glanced at Jungkook still laying with his back to you. After removing all your accessories, only the wedding gown remained. You decided to undress in the room because you were wearing something underneath, and even if hadn't been, you wouldn't have minded because his face was turned to another side. Mentally prepared for your first night together, you anticipated romance and intimacy. However, his unexpected behavior left you puzzled and unsure what to expect next. You started unzipping your bag zip, but it got stuck. You tried for 5 minutes, but then you sighed and turned towards your husband. Did you sleep? If not, please help me with this zip. You decided to seek his help instead of struggling with the stubborn zip in front of the mirror all night. He didn't reply, so you assumed he had either fallen asleep or didn't want to assist you. Hanging your head, you mentally prepared yourself, feeling disheartened by his behavior. You couldn't see him approach until he was right beside you, carefully holding the zip so as not to touch you. Despite his caution, his touch sent goosebumps all over your body. You looked up at Jungkook's face through the mirror, still feeling frustrated. He was glaring at the zipper like it was his worst enemy. Does he even have a problem with zippers? Maybe he had an embarrassing incident with one back in school. Your thoughts made you giggle, catching Jungkook's attention. He looked at you with the same cold expression. Sorry, Jungkook yanked at the zipper so forcefully that it broke, tossing it aside before turning to walk back to bed. Jungkook, are you angry? You grabbed his arm, feeling like his expression towards the zipper was really about something else. Leave it. He jerked his hand out of your grip and headed towards the bed. Did I do something wrong? Until now, you had thought he was just tired, but now you genuinely wanted to know what was bothering him. You followed him and stopped him again, this time holding his hand. Let it go. Don't make me yell. You were taken aback by his sudden outburst. You felt guilty not because he shouted, but because you had hurt him without realizing. Did I hurt you? Yes, you hurt me. For not telling me that someone is obsessed with you. How do you know that? Do you think someone would try to take my wife away from me and I wouldn't find out? You were momentarily stunned by him calling you his wife, blushing and smiling as you looked down. I am serious, Ryan. When were you planning to tell me? When he would have crossed a line and kidnapped you? No, I didn't. What, Ryan? I was your fiance. Don't you think I deserve to know? I am sorry, you apologized, feeling regretful as you couldn't come up with an excuse. Deep down, you knew he was right. You should have told him. I had planned so many things for tonight, but instead I had to go to the police station to deal with that pastor. He'll be out soon. This time I am involved. You're my wife, and I won't let him get away with it. I am sorry. If you had told me earlier, he's already be behind the bars before our wedding. But no, you decided to listen to your father, so you are the reason our first night is ruined. I am sorry. Just just sleep. I'm really angry and I don't want to argue all night. I have a lot of work at the hospital tomorrow. Good night. You wish there was something you could do to calm him down, but knowing him well enough made you fear making things worse. You changed into your night clothes and went to bed hoping things would be better in the morning. Next morning, Jungkook POV, I woke up early and saw my five friends sleeping peacefully next to me. It was a surreal and wonderful feeling. I had finally married my dream girl. Wine doesn't know, but once we attended the same school and I had a massive crush on her back then. Actually, she was a crush of nearly the entire school. At that time, I couldn't share my feelings with her. First, because I was her senior and she didn't know even I existed. Second, I didn't want any distraction from my studies. Years later, after achieving my goal and becoming a doctor, continuing the family legacy, I decided it was a time to focus on my personal life. I told my parents I wanted to find someone special with one condition: she shouldn't be a doctor. Growing up with the parents who were both doctors, I knew firsthand how hard it was for the kids. I didn't want my children to face the same challenges. I wanted someone fun loving and talkative. When my parents introduced me to a chef, I was thrilled, even though I am not much of a foodie, but the real surprise was that the chef was Vine, my school crush. I had no reason to reject this pretty, cute, funny girl, even if her parents were eager to rush the wedding. Last night, I shouldn't have shouted at her. I regret it deeply. I'm usually a very patient person, but when I break hard. I shout, I yell, but now with someone else involved in my life, I need to control myself better. I looked at her sleeping face and whispered, I am sorry for the last night. I wish I had time to talk to you and sort things out. I'll try to come home early today. I gently kissed her forehead, not wanting to go work for the first time in my career, but duty called. I reluctantly got out of the bed, got ready in 25 minutes, and left the house, leaving my newly wedded wife at home alone. Back to author POV, you always imagine waking up in your husband's arms on the first morning after your marriage, so you had never ever thought that you would wake up alone, so it was shocking and disappointing for you. But then you receive a message from your husband saying good morning. You whispered, good morning, that's it, it's my first day at his home. Why did he leave? Is he still angry? Oh my god, this is not the married life I had imagined. I wanted an intelligent husband, maybe even a romantic one, but not an angry husband. These starting days are very important, Jungkook. You can't ruin all of them. One night, fine. Morning, also fine. But I won't let you ruin our second night. Understand? I am coming. You scolded your husband even though you freshened up, cooked for him, and even decorated carrots on the rice, spelling out sorry. Then you went to his workplace. You saw the nameplate Dr. John Jungkook and moved towards his office, but his assistant stopped you. His assistant, I am sorry, ma'am, but do you have an appointment? She asked. Appointment? No, no, I am Mrs. John, his wife. You tried to enter, but she stopped you again. This time you didn't like it. Oh, I'm sorry, but you still have to wait, ma'am. Sir is busy. What do you mean he's busy? I'm his wife. I came with his lunch. I cooked specially for him. I am sorry, but there is a lot of time for lunch. It's only 11 a.m. Please sit in the waiting room. But can you please tell him that his wife has come and wants to win him urgently? Sure. She then called his office. You could actually hear his phone ringing, which made you excited. Sir wants to talk, she said, handing you the phone. You grabbed the phone immediately, but your excitement faded when he spoke. Ryan, I'm with patience. Please wait. Give her the phone back. You replied, handing the phone back and turning your back to her, not wanting her to see your sad face. Jungkook spoke to his assistant on the call. Make her sit in the special waiting room and give her some cooking magazines to read. It will take time. I can't come in between. She guided you to the waiting room and you had to sit there for straight 2 hours. You were not in good mood. You had come here to apologize to Jungkook, but now you needed an apology for making you wait. So the first thing you did was eat his lunch in revenge. Jungkook felt so guilty for making you wait for 2 hours, so as a gesture, he came himself to call you instead of sending his assistant. I am sorry, Wine. I was so busy. Let's have lunch. I didn't come here to give you lunch. You lied, not in the mood to entertain him, but you forget that he could see the lunchbox placed on the table. Yeah, I can see that, he chuckled, sitting down on the couch and opening the box. But since you had already eaten, he looked at you confused, which made you smile proudly. This is for mom, your mother. I had brought lunch for her as she is fan of my cooking. Jungkook's mother is also a doctor in the same hospital, but the way you said it, Jungkook figured out that you were angry, but he decided to tease you, so he closed the box and stood up crossing his arms. Oh, so I guess she has already eaten. And why are you still here? I actually had a stomach ache, so mom sat me here after giving me a medicine. I am fine now. I think I should leave. Picking up your purse and lunchbox, he walked toward the exit. But when you walked past him, Jungkook circled his hand around your waist, making your heart race. Please don't go, says he asked, looking down at your face. Although your heart wasn't in your control, you managed to hold your expression. I need to go home, you said, retracting his hand and walking ahead, but Jungkook stopped you again, hugging you from behind. I am sorry, Ryan, please don't go. You smiled and blushed, looking down, which also brought a smile to Jungkook's face. He spun you around to face him. So, will you stay? Eye contact, waiting for the second, and then looking down again. Let's go, let's have lunch. Jungkook said he had no idea how to handle his shy wife. If they were at home in their room, he would have kissed or made love to you, but since they were in the hospital, he decided to take you out for lunch when you could sort out things between you two and start your married life on a happy note.